Shout out Ronaldo, bro. It's over. You're dead.
And it's gonna be, and the thing with Copa America is like you have WWE tax because everybody starts beefing and just like throwing hands, and it's like
So many
there's a red.
cards. The worst match I
was
watched in my
almost
life.
like, what the heck am I watching of the tournament?
No,
Like,
you can tell the audience right now. I legit fell asleep.
Welcome back to the ridgewaypod. I'm your host Udoy, and I'm here with Ush. And today is a very special episode. We are not talking about the NBA or basketball. Finally, we're going to be talking about football and or soccer. We're probably going to interchange the terms. Honestly, we're North American, we're Canadian. It's going to slip out. It's just letting you guys know right now. But yeah, it's another sport we're heavily invested in. We're a big fan of. And we just kind of wanted to get into it. And I felt like the Copa America is on right now, happening in North America, in America. And the Euros, obviously, huge tournament is on as well. And like, why not jump into it using these two tournaments, right? So yeah, I think we're gonna first talk about the Euros, and we're already going into the semifinals. So I think the quarterfinals ended today, and for the Copa America, the quarterfinals also ended today. Wait, is it quarters?
Yeah,
Or
the quarters ended.
the quarters ended for everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're going to semifinals for both tournaments. So yeah,
I don't know why did people make it seem like, oh no, it's because quarterfinals they didn't have around a 16 for Copa.
The thing didn't have around 16. Yeah. That's why I got tripped up. But yeah, anyways, we're start off with the Euros. We could talk about let's just go in the schedule, I guess, like the way it was. So the first one we had was Spain versus Germany. And honestly, like just before we get into the details of it, this felt like on paper it was the finals for me.
It
like,
was the finals.
And
yeah,
100%. It ended up being the finals. Like just the action of game. Yeah, really, really good game. As you can see, Ushmo is wearing a Bayern Munich kit. He has an affinity and a love for German squad. So yeah, man, how did that go for you? Like, what did you think?
Honestly, like that match was like, that was obviously, like we just said, it was like the best match of the tournament, probably the best match we're going to see all tournament. But like disappointment wise, like I'm not honestly so like heartbroken on the loss, because the way we played, it's not like we played like a terrible game. We just couldn't like finish any of our goals that we had. Like all of our goal opportunities at the end of the game, we had like 2 or 3 chances to score. If I want to talk about certain players that really pissed me off, how like in the NBA I hate Tobias Harris.
Yeah.
But in soccer and football, I hate Kai Havertz. He stinks, bro. Oh my god. He's honestly one of the worst strikers I've ever seen play the game of football. He doesn't do anything well for us at all. Like going into that what's it called? Going into that like post, like the extra time, they literally subbed him off, and I was like, oh, like he's so bad. Like they don't even want him to take pens, even though Spain got the last second goal. Him being on the pitch or not on the pitch doesn't really matter. His tournament itself was one of the worst tournaments I've ever seen in my life. I think he had like 25% passes completed, or dribbles completed. I forgot what exactly the stat was. All of his shots, like he can't create anything for himself. He doesn't know how to even be a striker. He doesn't get open. When we're taking corners, if you ever noticed, it's so funny. Like we don't even kick it into the box. We literally are doing like trick plays to try to get on the top of the box. And I get it, that's a new tactics that people use. But look, when you have someone who's like 6 foot plus on a football pitch, you kind of have to kick it up to him and see what can happen. They don't even trust him enough to do that. Right. And the other player that really pissed me off that game is, and I know, like, obviously I'm cheering for Germany, so like having like Spanish team get hurt or have to sub because somebody gets injured, which is so stupid. But Cruz, he is, mostly because I don't like Real Madrid, but he is so overrated to me. Like he's had a great career. Like it's a great career.
He's a legend. He's a legend
for sure.
Yeah.
But the gas that he gets, like comparatively to his peers in his same role, I don't think he's even close. And even that last game, and we can say he's old, this, that, whatever. He was literally going out to kill people. Like he was
That's
so
the thing.
useless. He was so
Mhm.
useless. He's going out to kill people. That last goal where what's his name?
Marino,
Oh no,
Marino, Danny M. Yeah,
Omo passed that right.
yeah.
Omo Cruz was on him. Cruz didn't even like try to make an attempt to try to get the ball out of his legs. Like,
Mhm.
like if you're gonna injure somebody, injure him now. Go do it. No, he won't
Yeah,
even do that. Like
right.
he's so he's just played such a terrible game and he plays such a terrible brand of football, which I don't like. Positives wise from that game, Jamal Musiala, he's my goat. Like that's my wonder kid, my golden boy. I've never seen anybody better. But Wirtz had such a crazy game. Like he subbed in. He subbed in
Mm,
late, and I
yeah,
feel like he should have started probably that game. And they put Sonny in. I'm not sure why, but that like Wirtz came in and he had so many goals. He scored obviously to tie the game, but he also had the opportunity to go up to one. He just barely missed it. But
yeah.
for the future, like Jamal Musiala and Wirtz, like I can't be completely upset. And that Spanish team is so good with Nico Williams and Yamal. You'll probably go more into it, but
Right,
that
right.
team is just so insane. Where like this was just like like the World Cup final to me. Like this is the final of Euros. Yeah, everything else that comes after this is really.
Yeah, like I feel like if I had to pick, like if we did this episode earlier, it's like after group stages, who has been your favorite team to watch so far? I would say it's like Spain first, and then Germany would be second, and especially because they're the host country, I thought like they got that magic in them too, like the boost from the crowd and everything. And yeah, this was an exciting all around great match, like going all action end to end. It was just fun to watch. It's like it's kind of like whose tactics or which individual talent is going to show out more. And I feel like Spain, especially in the beginning of the match, till like pretty much like 80% of it was like, oh, they got this in the bag. Like when Pedri goes out, Danny Olmo comes in, and it's like he's kind of like their super sub in a way this tournament. And look at all the minutes he got, and he showed like, oh, it's not just a super sub, like he's actually that talented, playing alongside Yamal and Nico Williams. Yamal, like, bro, the kid is 16 years old. He's
He
been
might
blessed
get
by
player of the
Messi.
tournament
That
at
that's
16. That's
crazy.
insane.
He has a chance for that, which is
That's
insane.
insane.
And he gets the assist, and like he's always attacking. It's like finally we're getting these wingers back that like want to attack their defender, try to make something happen. They don't just
Like
look.
ISO.
It's not just retain. Exactly, like, oh, you're in an island now, something's gonna happen. And look, right before he did the assist, he had like the two people on him, and he just gets the pass off to Morata, and Morata like fans it, or like he just skies it, but like it was right there. It was on a platter, like
Yeah.
like, so it's just he's just making magic happen. And also the thing is, you can have skill and talent as a 16-year-old, like, or any rookie like entering whatever sport you're in, because you're like just generational talent and all that stuff. But to be physically, be able to keep up with men, right? Like grown men that's been playing for like all the people that are in their prime are probably 10 years into their careers, 6 years
Mhm.
into their careers. This is like a second year pretty much playing full-time professional soccer, professional football. So that's what's so amazing to see. Like he doesn't get hit off the ball. He takes the challenge, 50-50 ball, he'll challenge it. He's not scared of those moments. And on the other side, Nico Williams, I feel like he had a like he's good, he's solid, but like I feel like that, like the game against Italy was like his
Oh, that
like
was insane.
welcome to Nico
Yeah.
Williams show like moment. This game he was a little more quiet, or maybe like Germany's defense was just a little bit more like on him a little bit more. But he's just like 21 years old. He's so good. I want
He's
I want to
also
see.
going up against Kimmich, so
Right, like yeah. So
yeah.
that's the thing. Spain's midfield, Rodri, Pedri, obviously before injury. Now then, Danny Olmo came in, and Fabian Ruiz. Like they're so balanced. Like
Insane.
Spain, like maybe it's not the 2010, like the dynasty level of caliber players, but it's like the magic is still there. That's
But
what
the
they're
way
playing.
they play it kind of
Like,
emulates that,
emulates that, right?
Yeah.
It just shows
Obviously
like
not to the level that those guys
right,
played at,
but
but the way
yeah,
they're almost there.
yeah,
Like
and right,
like
they're just
Rodri
tapped in.
did.
Mm,
Rodri, I think is
yeah.
like Rodri is still one of the most underrated players. I think him
Yeah,
and Rodrigo, and I had another name I can't remember, but I feel like those guys are the most underrated players in the world. Like Rodri last year, you could even say that him, KDB or Haaland could have been all best in the world talks. Obviously Messi did his Messi won the Ballon d'Or, did his thing, but
yeah,
like that him on that City team, and is like
Nah,
he's
money.
honestly their X factor. Like he's
Yeah.
so good, and then he's showing it again in Spain. I think he's undefeated in Spain. I don't think he's lost ever. And then Conte, the other end, and they're gonna face
Yeah,
each other
for
next
France.
round.
Yeah.
They have
Right.
he's never lost either. But yeah,
No,
that
it's so good. And like Jamal Musiala for me, like for Germany, you're right. Like Jamal Musiala is so good. Like he's just gonna keep getting better. He's another wonder kid, right? And like it's just nice to see like these players that have like that technical ability, but like the moments of like magic that they can create. So yeah, like it just literally came down to the wire. I think it was like 1 minute left or something before the pens. So and
120 plus 6. I think that was
yeah, so it's like it's a tough break. So even
that's
with
insane,
all
bro.
that, like now, so there's that. Now going into the next game, like obviously we're gonna talk about the next game, but quickly for Spain, like they have so many players missing, like their starters for next game. So that's the thing. They're playing the most beautiful like level of like soccer, but it's like can they do that? They're gonna get their bench players to like lock in for 90 minutes for the next game? That's the thing.
Especially against France.
Especially against France. I would say Spain right now looks the best on paper to win it all. But yeah, like that's gonna be interesting. Like, and then so if this game was your match of the tournament, game of the tournament, just the next game, Portugal versus France,
The worst match I
was
watched in my
almost
life.
like, what the heck am I watching of the tournament?
No,
Like,
you can tell the audience right now. I legit fell asleep while watching I was on the couch with my
yeah,
head down, falling asleep while watching that game. That game
yeah.
was one of the worst games I've ever watched. I'll let you go first though. You give your takes on the game first.
So my take for both of these teams, like on paper, so much talent, right? Like all world class players, both sides, both squads, and it's like I don't know. I feel like Deschamps for France, he's kind of coaching, and we're gonna talk about this with the other game, but it's like some negative football, right? Like
Yeah.
it's so like you have Mbappe. I know he broke his nose, but like, he's still fit to play. Like his nose has nothing to do with him running past people and like just taking his chances. And on the other side, you have Dembele, who didn't start, who ended up being man of the match of this game.
Ended
But
up having an incredible game, low key, even
yeah,
though
maybe he is like that's the way to go. Bring him off the bench and he'll cause problems. But it's just France doesn't look like they're in sync anymore. And like it's funny because 2022 World Cup, they would go to the finals. They almost bring it back from death and win the whole thing, and it was just insane. But this
you
this
know
does not
You know
feel like
one thing about that France 2022 team though, I feel like we saw the cracks or like the
that.
signs showing because that 2022 that run they had, it was a good run, but remember in the knockout stages, all of their games were eerily close. It could
Yeah,
have gone either way. England
yeah.
should have won that game if Harry Kane doesn't miss the pen. I think
Mhm.
that's what it was, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah. No,
yeah,
it all comes
Harry
down to
Kane.
the wire. Morocco
You
is
know
like
what I
one
mean?
nothing.
Exactly. Like
Yeah,
I feel like the chink started showing in the armor, and then this tournament
yeah,
especially. And I think it's because I don't know what happened. Maybe it's because Paul Pogba was missing from 2018. That's why it doesn't look as fluid anymore. But
yeah,
that midfield little quadrant that they have of Griezmann, Camavinga, Chouameni, and Conte, they look like they're on complete opposite ends of the books. Like
yeah.
whatever the game plan is, they don't know what the other is going to be doing.
What? Yeah, yeah,
Especially
yeah.
especially Kamavinga and Chouameni, they don't even look like the players that we saw. Like
Right. And
like
when they play for Madrid, yeah,
we saw
yeah,
the meme going around about like Mbappe was better at 18 than he is at 25.
right.
But I feel like that's for a lot of them. Like a lot of these guys, when in those previous two tournaments that we spoke on, the Euros, I mean the World Cup, the two World Cups that they the one that they won, the one that they lost, and then
Yeah.
even the Euros, even the previous years, they all look like they all look better than they do now. And I can't tell you, I honestly can't tell you the answer to that because
Mhm.
you would think they're all like young, they're all like 24,
Oh yeah,
25,
entering their
19,
prime.
20. They're all
Yeah.
like, yeah, they all should be world class players at this point. But I feel like all of them have regressed at this point. Like when we were watching the game, every time Camavinga touched the ball, like it was an inherent pass, skying the ball. Even Conte, like Conte, he's a workhorse. He's always like
Yeah.
running around. He's
See,
always
that's
doing the
that's
weird
what
little
makes
thing,
up for it because that's his job, right?
right?
To clean
But
up and
exactly,
but he
and
was
but then
running forward too. Like
exactly,
There's no
And
one
then
else.
the only person I would say like from France and Portugal, because because so many shots were missed. Well, it's the defenses on both sides, but
Yeah,
Saliba and Pepe, funny enough, like
yeah,
45-year-old Pepe and young ass Saliba, they easily had the games of their lives. I've never
yeah,
seen like I mean I've seen, but like those two center back, like they're going
yeah.
aura for aura, like and
No,
then Costa and Magic Mike were going aura for aura too.
yeah, yeah,
Like it was a
yeah,
defensive masterclass more than it was the offensive masterclass. Even though we
yeah.
should have, the way these teams are built, their offenses are insane. Like
That's the thing.
their forwards are insane, their wingers are insane, their midfielders are insane, but it's just not building the way. Same thing with Portugal. You have Bernardo, Leao, and then Bruno
No,
Fernandes, and then obviously CR7. We'll talk about him later. But that trio, like that trio is like world class. That trio is
yeah,
winning games anywhere, any league in the world. That's how
right.
insane that trio is.
Oh, for
But
sure.
for some reason, like nobody can get it going, and I feel like it's a coaching thing, and it's like the players, like they don't know how to rally around. You don't know what their goal is. I feel like there's a lot of big egos on both these teams, where it's like
Mhm.
nobody knows what they're really doing anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's kind of like, you know, like when they talk about the golden generation of England back when we were growing up in the 2000s, and they had like all those names, Lampard, Scholes, Gerrard, obviously, Michael Owen, like all of them. It's just like Beckham, and it's like, but they could never get it going. And it's like you have all these names, like whoa, like legends of the Premier League and this and that. Yeah, like they probably make everyone's like all time 11, like other than like Thierry Henry. So, but like, and they just never could mesh well. But then the thing is, we know France like can do it. But then, okay, here's the thing: 2018, they did it, and like they were a squad. And you think, oh, you know, Mbappe's only 18. So again, 18-year-old, and then the rest of the gang, like they're all like, you know, taking him around the wing, and he's like kind of doing his thing too. Everything's balanced. 2022, you're right. The cracks did start showing, and I feel like in the final, it was individual brilliance by Kylian Mbappe that
That's all it
brought
was.
them back in. Literally, he said, "Watch this," and he just turned it on. So that's the thing. You can't do that. That's a one game type of thing. You can't do that every game. You need your squad,
And
right?
when Mbappe doesn't do it, look what happens.
Look
We
what
get
happened.
this game.
Yeah,
We get this
and
game.
it
Like
was
he
so bizarre.
ghosted the entire game, and
But
he
yeah,
even left. He wasn't even there for penalties.
and
His nose
yeah,
started hurting too
that,
much.
that was
There's
that was
six
very
minutes
weird.
left. There's 6 minutes left, I think, or 4 minutes left
Yeah, it
in
was
the
literally
extra
yeah.
time. Like, bro, like when he went off, France didn't even play any offense, so you weren't even gonna play any offense anyways. You could have just chilled, but he
That's
literally
the thing.
ran. Like it
Yeah.
was insane.
Yeah, it was weird because that was a weird like moment because it was kind of like, you know, when people in Holland and KDB they got subbed off, or they subbed themselves off in City and Madrid in the Champions League like semis, or was it quarters, like I think it was semis, where like they're going into pens, like that game, you know, Real Madrid wins on pens. How's your two best penalty takers, probably Haaland and KDB, not going to be there, and they got roasted, especially Haaland, for being as young as he is and like prolific as he is, like, and all that. I think Mbappe should be getting similar like criticism to an extent. And if the nose thing is a problem, how are you going to play 120 minutes almost? Like, I'm pretty sure, I think he subbed himself off like the half was gonna
Second
start.
half.
Extra time, second
The
half was
first
gonna
half,
start.
yeah.
He
Oh,
played
right.
though.
You're right. You're
Yeah, no,
correct.
he played. So like but it's 15 more minutes. Like,
Yeah.
if you were not much doing much anyways, you know, he's not even doing his, like, okay, if you're not gonna run in behind, maybe take a thing and try to curl one in, like anything at this point,
His
dude.
little
Like
inside shot that he does on the
nothing.
left wing.
So
And all.
if you're not going to do any of that, like, you may as well just chill, walk around for a bit, and then take your pen. They ended up winning, of course, but I don't know. Like, if you're gonna, I feel like people should be held to the same standard. So that was just a little bizarre. And obviously, there's that whole conversation. Like, you forget Portugal. Like, he's his own brand, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo, like he legend. You know, some people's goats and all that stuff. That was a interesting situation. It's weird because, in my opinion, I feel like he he wasn't offering a lot. But if the game plan, you know, if Roberto Martinez's game plan, their coach's game plan is just cross the ball in and hopefully gets to Ronaldo, and Ronaldo will like head the ball in or something in. They weren't even doing that properly. Like, that's the thing. Like, sure, his he wasn't offering anything. Like he can't do ball defeat much anymore. Like Saliba's clamping,
Yeah,
Upamecano is clamping. Like they're all just I mean, if anything, it was Saliba 1-on-1. Like they weren't sending
yeah.
double. They were sending doubles, but it's
There's no
also like
doubles. There's no
there's
doubles.
no doubles really.
No
But like, but they weren't even like. How many times did Uller say, "Bro, can they get past the first man?" Like when they take a corner or they take a free kick, it's like it doesn't even get past the first
No,
post.
I
That's a
think
rule.
the best part about this whole entire tournament is Cristiano Ronaldo because he announced his retirement after he missed that pen against
Slovenia. Yeah,
Slovenia.
yeah.
I think the
Let's just get into it. Yeah, go on.
best
Yeah.
part about this story is that meme of him taking the free kicks, and it's how do you reason with a man like this?
That's the thing though. Like, at a point you have to come and be like, maybe it's just not it anymore. Like, it's not like, or okay, look, I'm not saying get him off the team, but
No, we just watched Suarez though. Like Suarez is on the bench.
yeah, no, it's true.
Suarez can still play.
And before anyone
He's
says you're
better than
comparing Luis Suarez to Cristiano Ronaldo, no,
Yes.
but they're both legends. They're both legends of their national teams.
100%.
Where's Luis Suarez, who's still playing for Inter Miami, X, Y, and Z, whatever, blah blah blah, and like
he won the league. He won a trophy last year.
Yeah.
Luis Suarez.
Yeah,
he led the league in scoring. Like what I mean?
He's still hooping, but he knows it's not his turn anymore. Like as funny as Darwin Núñez is, we'll get into Copa later, but it's like we gotta let the kid go, like keep trying. Cristiano, like your position is like, oh, first of all, they look to you as a leader, they look to you as like the freaking talisman of the whole nation. I understand all that, but that's when your responsibility is to maybe we should give another person a chance, because no one's gonna say that to you. Like the coach is not gonna say that to you. The players are definitely not gonna say that to you. They have no one should, like, it's respect, right? It's a disrespectful thing. Like you're a legend of our country. Like I can't do that. But and if anyone says like, oh, because I heard these tweets where it's like, or saw these tweets where it's like, oh, but who else do they have? Do they have someone of that level to like think? Okay, maybe not, but how will you know if you don't try? And funny enough, like the last World Cup,
it's not like him playing striker up there is making a difference though.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like adding in somebody else doesn't make a difference. It's never going to be a net negative because he is a net negative.
That positive, right?
He's a negative, right?
Yeah.
Also, like if you want to talk about it, look, he hasn't. This is 2 back-to-back tournaments now. He's hijacked the team, and this is an insane roster, dude. Like, we're not talking about age and how old he is, because if we're talking about age, you look at Pepe. He literally had the game of his life. He's older than Ronaldo. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. We're talking about his skill set and what he can provide for the team, and he can't do it anymore, dude. He's hijacking plays, hijacking free kicks. Like he doesn't even dribble the ball. He can't dribble the ball. He doesn't even get in good positions in the box. He can't win a one-on-one in the box anymore, like a body-on-body for a corner. He cannot do that anymore.
High, maybe. Like, I don't know. Oh, yeah.
Well, imagine like 5 years ago, like let's just 5 years ago, not even 10 years, 5 years ago, a player like Saliba trying to check Ronaldo in a box. You know what I mean? Like, be for real. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like he just can't do that anymore. So his and you're gonna compare him to Messi, blah blah blah. But the thing is, Messi is the engine of that Argentina team. So he makes everything go. Ronaldo is a detriment. He's literally a loose bolt that's literally derailing this team every time. This is the best team Ronaldo's ever had in Portugal.
Right.
We can be for real about that. That sucks about his career, but this is also his time for him to take a step back. When he took a step back, they won the Euros, even though he was injured. But like the team is insane. Bernardo, Bruno, Rafael Leao, Pahina, Vitinha. I don't like him, but he's a solid player. Cancelo, Ruben Diaz, Pepe, and Nuno Mendes. Like Nuno Mendes had a game of his life too. That is an insane 10 player. Insane.
No, and that's the thing. Like for me, it's like you won't know till you find out. First of all, right? That's what I'm saying. Like it's like who other than Ronaldo are you gonna put in there? But like you don't know until you find out. And also, it's if he's not again, we're not saying he has to be off the team, nowhere near that team. But it's like maybe you try other stuff because this isn't working. And if you have all those world-class levelish players, so something needs to be fixed here. Like, and we know it's glaring, guys. Like, come on, it's pretty glaring. And that's the thing. This isn't even about like goat talk, this and that. It's like if you're a fan of Portugal national team and you just want your game plan is let's just get the ball to Ronaldo, then it's like I don't know where you're gonna go with that because you look what happened. You just this is your sample size this tournament. And other than that, why isn't anyone else doing anything? Well, I don't know if they feel the freedom to play, and that's weird. Like I, as a player, like if you're out on the pitch, like I don't care who's on the pitch. Like if I'm gonna try something, I'm gonna try something. Like, and you can yell at me later. But it does seem like they're not playing up to their abilities. Bruno Fernandes, as crazy as he is in Manchester United, he's still a pretty awesome like midfielder, like
He
solid
really
midfielder.
is,
Like people have his takes, right? Okay, he's not better than KDB, blah blah blah, but he's still a pretty like great midfielder, especially in the Prem. We see how he plays. He's more he's more open, like wild in terms of that kind of play style going
He's
forward.
also his vocalization. He'd be yelling
Yeah,
and screaming.
you could see
the
him.
Passion exudes in
He's
United.
piped down. Like he's just piped down. Like, bro, what happened?
Dude, I watch City games all the time. Bernardo Silva is literally a psychopath. Every game, he's yelling at every single person. He's literally telling he does this thing like where me and Uda say it a lot, where it's like, "Give me the ball, I'm gonna go do it myself." Bernardo does that a lot because he plays through the wings and the midfield. He does that a lot. I didn't see it once this tournament. I didn't see it once. I don't know if that's a coaching thing or a Ronaldo thing, but there's gotta be something that gives, you know what I mean?
We're not just gonna blame it on the one guy, but it's also because you as a player have some respect for yourself and try play good. But like there's clearly something going on, and there's lack of chemistry, which is weird. Like you have all these good players, how do you not have any chemistry at all? And this is not your first tournament together. Like you guys should have been like they're all in their primes now, like and nothing's clicking. And like we know Roberto Martinez, we saw what he did with the golden generation of Belgium. So maybe this is his track record too. I don't know. But
I'll say one last thing about the Ronaldo thing, and I'm not saying their career paths are the same, but it really reminds me of the Russell Westbrook to the Lakers situation, where it's kind of like, well, even Russ in this part of his career, and I love Russ. That's that's like literally top 3 players, my favorite player ever. But it's just that like his skill set, and same thing with Ronaldo, it doesn't work in this era anymore because it relied on heavy athleticism and physicality, but they can't produce that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where it's or like, you know, where somebody else, let's say Steph and Messi, like, you know, their skill sets, you know, Steph's a shooter, you know, Messi, he dribbles and he watches and he's a lot of playmaking, a lot of vision, a lot of finding the right spots. You know, he doesn't play winger anymore at all. You know, he plays in that like that cam role, you know, false nine role where he kind of hovers, and drifting around, picking his spots. Funny enough, for the Argentina team, which is complete opposite to the Portuguese team, they kind of cover all of Messi's, you know, oldness. You know what I mean? You know, like he's an old guy. He can't run like that anymore. This day, he's not going to pressure a lot of. He's not going to pressure the ball like that when he loses it or when somebody else loses it.
Not all the time,
But the Argentinian team, they cover for that. They I don't know what it is. You know, like all the kids watched him and they bought in. Same thing with Ronaldo. But Ronaldo, on the other end, you know, like his skill set doesn't work anymore for the position that he wants to play. And I don't know what position he could play with that skill set. Mm-hmm. And also, like, the team around him they're not really bought in. You know, like they don't really do anything to make it easier for him either.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's true because it's a good take because, like, even if you said 5 years ago, right? So we're talking like 2018, 2019. That Russ, you know, like, exactly. Yeah. So that Russ and that Cristiano, like, again, we're not saying like legacy wise they're the same, obviously, but however, that's a really good point because that Russ is unstoppable, and that Ronaldo, like exactly like you said, in 5 years ago, whatever years ago, prime Ronaldo versus Saliba or any center back, bro, who is it? Barbecue chicken, but that's all gone. Like I'm sure he's trying to do the move. And guess what? The other players have caught up now because you're older and it's just father time is here, man. And unfortunately, you can't just become a midfielder because we've seen that too, where like wingers naturally sometimes they become a 10. Because as they get older, they become a 10 randomly, or like, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna play make now because I can't really just take it all
Mhm.
the time. And I like Messi, like he starts off right on the right side, but then he'll drift in, and somebody overlaps him,
Yep.
etc., etc. But so that's the thing, like it's again, he said, he's proud of, like he posted about like how he's proud of what they accomplished, this and that, but it wasn't a retirement, like official, like national team retirement thing. So you know
He's
good
gonna be
luck.
back again.
Well, like good luck scoring, qualifiers or Luxembourgs and all that, Estonia and all that stuff.
Well,
So,
I guess he would want to play in America, but wait, never mind.
but
Next.
the next game we got is today's games:
Let's
England
give a
versus
shout out.
Switzerland. Yeah, no, that this game was funny. Gareth Southgate, I still don't think they know what they're doing. It ended up going to pens. England wins once again. They're on
No
the
clue what
easy
he's
side of the
doing.
bracket, and honestly, should be happening. Like when I watch England, I don't know what I'm watching. Like this is like
Honestly, honest to God, I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
what the hell is
This,
going on
this
that
is their
pitch.
30th formation change. And like that's the thing. Like I don't get it. You know what's funny? And I'm just gonna say this.
Three,
Every
four, two,
defense,
one. Like,
every defense, I feel like in this tournament has been pretty solid. Like
yeah,
especially like these
100%.
big things, like Portugal, France. Like to be honest, that back four with Koundé, Saliba, all of them boys. Even England, like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
they've been
Kyle
solid.
Walker had his first good game.
Well,
Okay, so
yeah.
let's go.
The funny thing is, it's like Kyle Walker always ends up on the offensive end, and it's like,
Yeah,
what are you doing here? And then
he
that's
loves
why
that shit
it
now.
looks so weird, like
Yeah.
it's glaring his critiques. So
Saka
England,
left back is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. By the way,
so I think to me, Saka was like the best player for England today. Like
dude,
it's
he
funny
was
because
insane,
I did
dude.
a whole soliloquy about, bro, I want my wingers to have that magical moment and like look to like attack their defender, this and that. And I feel like Saka, he's kind of just like passing it back now too, like he's not doing anything. Like and then like all of a sudden, like 10 minutes later, like 5 minutes later,
But
bro, heard
the
me.
thing is, why? My thing is, like, we can say these defenses are good or whatnot, but I feel like this is an inherent issue in all of football itself. Wingers can't collapse the defense anymore. When we see it happen, we saw what Saka did. That goal that he did, that goal that he had was amazing, amazing goal.
So
But
good.
it's like, why can't you guys do it more often? Like
Yeah.
if you're playing through the wings, you gotta have somebody who can break down the defense in the wings. Force the center back to come out, because the left back or the right back, couldn't
failed.
keep up.
Yeah.
Like force the center back to come out. That collapses the defense. We don't see that often. We don't see that at all anymore. I think the only player I see it from, if we're talking about club in Europe, is Salah. But and Saka now, which he does it, but he doesn't do it often. A lot of the times we see the way they play, and I don't know. Again, it's a coaching thing. Gareth Southgate, where it's like they play this like it's not lazy, but it's not like up tempo brand of football where it's like like they're just passing it around, trying to get into the middle. Instead of like attacking from the wings, get inside, get deep in, get force corners, get the ball in the box. I feel like that's one thing that that teams refuse to do nowadays. And for some reason, we see it at the end of games, and then, oh my God, they're scoring. Oh, why are they scoring? Because they're throwing it in the box. Something's going to happen. Your 6-foot striker is going to do something in the box. Somebody's going to get a bounce in the box. Get it in there, cause havoc. Play too technical.
Yeah. No, it's true. And in terms of that, like we all know, they were down 1-0. So Saka, everyone all of a sudden locks in, and it's like, oh, we got to do something. And
that's desperation.
Yeah, and then Saka's like, oh, playground football, let me just like try this one. And it goes in, and it's like, wow, you could have done that before. It's like, you're not going to get benched for this. You're Bukayo Saka. You're Phil Foden, Jude Bellingham. Like, all these guys, like, I don't know. It's like, it is weird. I like, for example, I'm a big like Foden fan, like of his, like, in City this year, he had a great like thing. I think his talent level is
Player
up
of the
there.
year.
But even him, it's like, they just don't want to do it, or the coach told them something, and everyone's just like, it's not about playing boring, okay? Like you can play boring, but are you effective playing that style? No, because we saw England getting like bombarded by the other teams in the group stage, for example. And it's just like,
what's funny? What's so funny about that England team is the two players that they sub on every game are the two players that literally change the game every time. It's Eze and Cole Palmer, because they don't care. They legit don't care about
Right.
anything else. Like, what the tactics are, what is gonna happen. They just go out there, and obviously, I'm not saying like, oh, you should play like without caring. I'm just saying like the free flowingness of the
Yeah.
football, like the game that we love, the free flowingness is
Yeah.
those two players. They just come in and they're just like, okay,
Yeah.
let me
To
make a
give
run.
go.
Let me take
Yeah.
the ball. Let me go. Let me
Yeah.
try to cause some sort of havoc. Try to mess up the defense. A lot of these defenses kind of can just sit where they are. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like they're not being moved around. There's no chess game going on here.
Yeah.
They're just
Exactly.
sitting. Like I'm a left back. I'm just gonna sit in the left wing, and you're gonna come down, and then you're gonna pass it back to your midfielder, and then he's gonna pass it, and then like there's nothing going on to challenge those
Yeah.
positions. That's why the
Get
defense
people out
looks
of
so
their
good.
positions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
100%. And that's the thing to me. It's like, I so my thing is, I understand Garrett Southgate's like philosophy is essentially he would rather not concede than score. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like we'll grind this out. And I get it, NFL like Ravens defense, like just we'll score 13 and win. That's
yeah.
cool. But
I think it's
you
so
have
insane
so
to do
much
that.
talent, like but that's the thing, like you have so much talent on your team, bro. You have the guy who scored like 50 goals this year, freaking Bundesliga leading like gunman, like player of the whatever, not player of the season, but Harry Kane, all-time leading scorer. And exactly, it's not like he used to be that. He literally
He
scored
literally
almost
had
50
50
goals
goals.
this
He had
year
50
for
goals
Bayern
last
Munich.
season.
Cool.
Yeah.
You have the basically La Liga player of the season, like Jude Bellingham, Golden Child, Wonder Boy, all that stuff. You have Phil Foden. Oh my god, like the list goes on and on and on. And it's just like,
That
why
is, they
can't
have
you
such an
get them
insane
to
thing.
click? Like, I don't get it. It's weird. And that's when you need a manager that can talk to these egos and just be like, yo, we need to just lock in. You guys are all talented. We get it. You
I
just
feel
have to
like
lock
everybody on England as well, they all play such a different style though.
like
I
each
feel like
person.
that, like I
Yeah.
feel like all of their best players, especially the offenses, like they all play like the way Foden plays and
The
the
way
way
Jude wants to play.
Jude
Yep.
plays and
Yeah.
the way Harry Kane wants to. Like Harry Kane likes playing. Like funny enough, it's so weird, but the way like it has a little bit of how Messi plays right now. Like, but like he loves dropping back, like
Dropping
because
in.
he likes dropping back and setting up the game from there. Like from the midfield, he doesn't really do the lob it over and I'm on a run because he's older,
Oh
he's
yeah,
not
he
really
can't make a
fast,
run
right?
like that.
But
No.
his passing ability, it leads to his scoring ability. He
Right.
loves doing the give and goes and dropping back, but then Foden doesn't really do the give and go. Foden is a great passer, but Foden doesn't really play like that. He kind of plays, he kind of like runs around the pitch. He just
He's just
does.
roaming, free
He's
roaming
roaming. He
around.
doesn't
Yeah.
play winger. He's not a
Yeah.
he's not a winger. He's a 10. Obviously, Garrett Southgate doesn't want to play him at 10 because his golden boy has to play 10. And I'm gonna go on a rant here, but Jude Bellingham. Okay,
Today's
this is
game
gonna
was
sound so
whack.
stupid. Okay, this is gonna sound so stupid because his stats are crazy. His stats
Yeah.
are really good, and obviously clutch. He has freaking Mamba mentality, whatever it is, whatever
Yeah.
devil magic he has, Tom Brady devil magic that he has. He gets all them late goals, but my God, bro! Every time I watch this guy play, I don't know what he does better that he got that Golden Boy of the Year award over Jamal Musiala. This is a completely biased take, but I just whenever I'm watching Jude, and Jude's more of an 8 than a 10 to me, but whenever I'm watching Jude, he doesn't know how. I feel like he doesn't know how to play midfield. I feel like he doesn't know how, like how to set up his teammates, how to get plays going. Like the play starts from the midfielder. Your midfielder has to start the play. I was watching that Czech Fabregas interview the other day, and he was talking about how like people be gassing up like passes completed, and but they're just
In the
passing side to
numbers.
side and passing back, whereas
Yeah.
100% like the Cruz stats and the Modric stats, and now it's the Jude Bellingham stats where it's like, bro, you're not doing like
How
you don't
effective
do
were
it
those passes?
exact.
Yeah.
How effective are you making these things? Like I'm obviously Kane is not having his best tournament, and obviously Kane's a Bayern player, so I'm going to be a little biased. But Kane not having like any goals, I don't think he has a goal yet, does he?
He does. He
He has
scored.
one goal,
He scored two. I think he has two.
two
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah.
I just feel like the success with that Kane should be having in this tournament, especially the competition that they are playing, has Jude Bellingham holds a responsibility to that.
Right.
because they're playing him so high at the cam and whatever false nine, whatever he's playing 10, but he doesn't do anything to like set up his wingers or set up the strikers. It's just like I
Well,
just don't see it. I
to
don't see
me,
it.
it's like it's true. Like I don't know if it's system or what, but he moves a little stiff. And okay, if he's a like for me, what the Jude I saw initially, like from Birmingham to Dortmund, he's just this all action, like going forward and going backwards, and just like kind of like an engine too. And like it's like you right next to Declan. That's perfect, right? Like defensively, kind of, and then offensively, like he'll support, but he's not like the main focal point. He's not like number 10. He's not, like he's not gonna be Mesut Ozil who's gonna just like friggin'
Exactly.
a wizard
Exactly.
boom it in, or even Pogba, who's kind of like all rounded, but like those magic passes that we're talking about, right? He's not doing that. We haven't seen it. He, if anything, he just crashes in late and scores those goals, right? Like, and that's the thing. So, but he's not a winger either. So but I feel like in his head, it's like, oh no, if I show up, I can be like a 10. So let me try this, let me try that. And it's like, why are you trying to do something you're not? And like, I don't know, it's like an ego thing. Like he should look in the mirror, but someone
I
should tell
don't
him
even know.
too.
I don't know when this started though. Like what? Why randomly he goes to Real Madrid and all of
Yeah,
a sudden they turn him into this like
false nine
false
thing.
nine strike
Yeah.
like offensive
Like okay, look,
supreme.
with the whole
He's
they did
never.
they did the
We
false
watched
nine
it,
thing in Real
Dortmund.
Madrid. Cool, I get it. They don't have a striker, freaking Joselu off the bench, or
He
Hoselu,
got the
whatever his
game
name.
winner.
But so it's like, oh, over here he's like, okay, wait, Kane's a striker, so I'm not gonna be false nine. But what's behind Kane? I'm gonna be that. And it's like, but that's not what you did in Real Madrid, like this year, like all the stuff he's doing. So it just doesn't fit. Him and Foden cannot play together. So I'm saying both
At
of them,
all, at all, at
they
all,
they
at
have
all,
no saying. And there's
at
so many
all.
times you're right, they don't know what the other person wants to do. It's kind of like that French midfield thing we
Yeah.
were talking about, where it's like they look at each other like, wait, I wanted the ball here, bro. Like I wanted the ball there. And that's why, like, I think funny enough, like again, solid defensively. Like John Stones, he doesn't have Harry Maguire. It's Mark Gahey and today Konsa played like center back wise, and it's like again they just know what to do. They're locked in, like center back or even their whatever fullbacks, this and that. But going forward, it's just so weird, and it's kind of sucks because national like these international tournaments are supposed to like bring out the beauty of individual talents, and I feel like they've regressed.
Dude, it's insane.
It's like
it's
this
supposed to be
team,
like the Olympics. The basketball Olympics is gonna start in a bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch Team USA, and they're gonna be like high flying, running around, doing their thing. We've been watching France, like Wemby and Gobert look insane, even though they're 2 7-footers. But for some reason, in these international tournaments for soccer this year and
especially England,
especially England, but it's like all these players, they look like they have no idea how to play with each other. Like they genuinely don't forget how to play the sport, and they're so headstrong on their style of play where they won't even like conform or try to fit in with each other,
which causes problems, right?
Especially like, dude, England, France, Portugal. Like those are literally walking
Spain's
into
the only one that they're like free flowy. Kid, do what you want to do. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do next, and it's just like
those three teams. They literally walked into the Euros as the odds-on favorite to win.
Yeah.
So
literally, and then 2 of them are gone.
Yeah,
right. Like so, it's like,
it's the other 2 are playing like absolute trash. So
So like the last matchup over here we got is the Turkey or Turkey, like they changed their spelling. They recently changed it. I'm not sure. I guess that was the right way the whole time. And the Netherlands end up winning 2-1. And that was an all action game. Like these games that were kind of like where you feel like people won't tune in as much because have a dark horse like Turkey and the Dutch. It's like they became the more action for like I feel like Turkey took it to them first, to the Netherlands first, and they were just throwing it over the like down the line, running behind. And I think that's what you needed to do them, because like you have Van Dijk and Nathan Ake and them, and they're just so solid, right? Whereas it's like you have to don't let them sit there. You have to make them run, get them out of their system, and that's what they did. And they ended up scoring their first goal, their only goal. And first of all, like Arda Güler, like
that was so funny.
But like their wonder kid, the 18-year-old or whatever, Arda Güler, Real Madrid player, obviously. But he is so good, and he has like that magic, he's like a wizard. And these are like the players that we're missing. Like
He's nice.
he's so good. He was just exceptional. I think the Ronald Koeman and like the Dutch team, what they did really good is they brought in Weghorst, which gave so much size, and there's like so much.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna, and they kind of did like classical, like the way you're talking about, get the ball in the box and just
Well, they
cause.
do. They've
That's
been
what they
doing that
did.
though. Like even in the last World Cup, they
Mhm.
do this thing where it's like,
Just
look,
crash.
we're just
Yeah.
bigger than you. That
Mhm.
Argentina game was the hardest game Argentina played in the World Cup final, and the game was literally like, dude, I'm literally 6 foot tall. Like you're not
Yeah.
like pushing me out the box. I'm gonna sit
Mhm.
here until the ball touches my foot or my head, and I'm gonna score it. And that's how they.
Yeah. That's
And I feel like I
yeah.
love that strat. But they're playing to their advantages. You know
Their
what I mean?
skill,
Like
their
that's
physical
their that's
attributes. Yeah.
their advantage is that they're physically the more dominant than every other team in the tournament, so they're gonna keep using that.
Yeah.
If I want to give a shout out real quick, shout out Nathan Ake. He's having a great tournament. Having a
Mhm.
great tournament.
I feel like he's always under the radar. Like even
Always,
in the city,
always,
like nobody's gonna talk about him
always.
first. And he's always thing. Cody Gakpo, I think, was kept quiet today, and I think that was
Yeah,
Turkey's game plan.
that
Like
was the game plan. Yeah,
just to like because he's been so good
the
for them.
tournament of his life.
Like he's honestly having an insane tournament. He also
The
could
tournament
be.
of his life.
We're and so I saw a tweet where it's like we're in a world where Cody Gakpo could win Euros Player of the
But
Tournament. Like
tournament.
this is where we at now, boys. But honestly, hey, like they killed. Like again, it was Cody Gakpo crashing the net there to get that second goal. Funny enough, so it was just crazy, like to see that. Netherlands, it's like everyone kind of didn't expect them to go this far. Even some people said not to get out of their group because of all the injuries they had going in, like Frankie and all those guys, like just like they all started like dying out. But I think they're doing their thing. They're getting the job done. They have the
I feel like
competition
they're
in
gonna
front
make
of
the
them.
finals, dude.
And they got England
They're
next.
playing
So
England, and I don't know, man. I've been saying England's gonna win all these
interesting.
games, but I said from the jump, like I literally said, like England's gonna go to the finals. I'm going with Netherlands for that game, bro. I
No,
just think they just got something, and they're gonna do the Hail Mary, freaking
yeah,
bombardment tactic of we're just gonna launch it into the box every time we
yeah.
get it,
No, it's true.
and then
The
that
shot
Spain France game is gonna be interesting.
yeah, so that's the thing. If we were to quickly talk about that, Netherlands, England, I think it's gonna end up being like 0-0,
Yeah,
1-1,
probably.
very slow game, I feel like. Shout out to Memphis Depay's headband. Like I don't know what's going on over there. Like, why is he wearing
Brilliant.
that? Like he got his VC points up or something like that.
He bought
For
VC, got drip.
for France and what's the name for France and England? To me, I would say I'm sorry, not France. In
France and
France and
Spain.
Spain,
Yeah.
I would say Spain wins, but like Carvalho gets a red,
They're dead.
Morata's yellow card suspended out, like Pedri died, like Pedri on live television, like so
Patty Olmo clutch,
it's
Joselu
like
clutch
it's like
coming.
you're gonna have to count on Rodri and the two wonder kids a lot, and obviously Fabian Ruiz, beautiful tournament he's having. But it's like, what if
Oh,
France, wakes up, right? Like
can the
they're
two
just
Wonder
sleeping
Kids?
giants
Can the
now.
two Wonder Kids play all 90? That's my other thing. Where
Well,
like
yeah,
if Yamal can go all 90,
yeah,
and like you go all 90 while playing like a full good 90 minutes. Same thing with Nico Williams. Then they might have a chance. But the
yeah.
amount of like players they're missing going into this game,
Well,
bro,
I
France
don't know
is
if
so
they can
lucky.
afford it, and like we forgot to point this out. Germany should have won that because they got all the momentum. And why I said, if you remember, I said like 70-80% they had it won, but then they subbed everyone
Sub
off.
them off.
And you're up 1-0. The one rule I hate is you're up 1-0 and you park the bus, or you're like you decide to be like we're gonna go defensive. Dude, that means nothing in today's game, especially. I mean, I don't think it ever did mean anything. Like they're just gonna crash the net. This is the one game we're out. We're gonna go crazy now. And Germany, with the talent they have, home court advantage in a way, home field advantage. Like you knew they were gonna tie it, and I think Spain kind of scraped it at the end.
They scrape by. Yep.
But if they just kept their players on, you just kind of play it out and just whatever. Like, bro,
Well, what Spain has been doing all tournament, even when they went up 1-0 or to one
keep
position,
going.
one goal
Yeah.
game, all they do all tournament is our park the bus is you're just not gonna touch the ball. Like
Yeah.
they never really park the bus, but
Yeah.
for some reason
Yeah.
against Germany, which it was in my favor, but like they decided to park the bus. We pull all their players. It's like, why would you do that? why would they
Yeah,
barking the bus is the dumbest thing to me ever. But unless you're up like 2-0, then if you're up 2-0,
that's
cool,
different.
okay.
Yeah,
But if you're up 1-0 and it's the most crucial game of the tournament, these people are gonna kill themselves to win it. So
yeah.
you're gonna have to kill yourself back. You know what I mean?
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
So that's the thing for me. I still have Spain going forward, but it's 50-50 with the whole lineup thing. I think it brought it back to almost 50-50. So that's the
I
thing.
have
Like,
to
let's just
watch.
see. Does Mbappe want to play like the best player in the world? Like, I don't know. So that depends on that. Maybe that game depends on that.
Yeah.
And Netherlands, England. It's like everyone else obviously probably gonna lean towards England, but I think that's a toss up, bro. It's
Yeah, it
it's
really
it's
is.
gonna be
The way
uh,
England's playing,
a
I just
snooze fest because England's specialty is to turn it into a snooze fest. And yeah, we also do so that's the Euros.
yeah.
And if we want to quickly, let's just touch on the Copa America because I think like the tournament is just as fun. I honestly think it's so much more.
Let's go Canada!
It's a big one. The Canada are the only team out in North America that made it through to the next round. Like, let's freaking go.
Dude, me and
Shout out
Ulesh were
USA,
watching yesterday. We
Mexico.
were losing our
Mm.
mind.
Bro, like again, it's such a new program, like
Dude,
overall, I feel like.
I'm so
And
gassed.
and like they're versing the reigning champs, Argentina. Honestly, funny enough, I think that first game,
Argentina's having a bad
they,
tournament, bro.
Argentina is not playing like they should be.
And Messi's like
And
clearly unhealthy. Like
he's unhealthy, not
clearly unhealthy.
doing
Like
it well. Exactly. So I
he's
think Canada
fried.
has a chance, but the thing is, like, it sounds funny. Like, okay, no, Argentina should win. Like, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Preface this:
Yeah.
Argentina should smoke Canada, but the way Argentina's been playing and the Canada, like the way they stay in it, it's like, wait a minute, and that's the thing.
Bro,
The first game, they just couldn't finish. You know, it could have been a
bro,
draw.
that
Like,
game against Venezuela yesterday, we shouldn't even went to pens. The
yeah,
amount of goals we had in our hands and
yeah.
we just tossed it away was insane, dude.
No,
Like
it's true.
we
It
played
was right there.
like that was honestly the best Canadian game I've ever seen in my life. Like
Yeah.
other than that World Cup qualifier and against who was it? I forgot
Oh,
who.
in the snow
in Edmonton when Jonathan David scored the final goal and then he goes into the snow. That was the best game.
That was
But
lit.
yesterday's game was like if you look at the box score and you look at they went to pen, blah, 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 look, it was not an even game. We should have won that. We should have won that easily, but we just choked it up. But I will say this quickly because we're running out of time. But
Oh yeah,
Argentina and Canada, like I think Argentina will win, or if Canada wins, I'm proud of these guys for getting as far as they did. That other side of the bracket is those are two demonic entities, two dragons coming.
Those two are.
I don't understand, dude. Those are the two best teams in the tournament right now. Uruguay, Colombia, dude. James Rodriguez for Ballon d'Or. No Vinny, no Jude. We start the campaign today. They are insane, dude. That team is crazy.
No, it's crazy, bro. And so that's the thing. Like, okay, like quickly. So Canada is like quick shout out to Canada. Like making it this far. I honestly think it's not about like you're playing with house money. You played with house money against Venezuela too, by the way. Like no one expected this, but it's like keep fighting, take your chances, and see what happens, right? Like, and going to Argentina just to finish off this side of the bracket. Argentina, like with Ecuador, it's like 1-0, and I think the whole tournament they've been doing this. They haven't really figured it out. And I'm not gonna lie, I do think like to fair is fair. Messi not being healthy or not, finishing and this and that. He had his fever. He's not having the greatest tournament. If he was just a little bit more on form, I think they just demolished those teams. Like that's a goal or an assist every game probably. But I feel like he left it all in the 2022 World Cup, and it's like, hey, you know what? Even when he missed a penalty, as fans of Messi, it was like, yeah, whatever,
Whatever.
The story is finished. But this is all extra shit right now. Yeah. So that's the thing. So Argentina does not look like competitive, but what?
We have to talk about the game that just happened that we just.
We're gonna get there. Yeah.
So I just remembered.
I just wanted to finish this bracket off. So going on to the other bracket, we had Colombia and Panama, and Colombia absolutely like destroyed. And Colombia, this isn't fluke. Colombia has been playing insane,
the entire tournament.
Yeah, I think James had like 2 or 3 assists and a goal. Like he's going crazy for Colombia, and honestly, it's fun to see because we saw him from 2014 World Cup. He was just like the breakout tournament he had to his career now. Like club wise, it's been like ups and downs, but like he's just going crazy. They're all locked in. Luis Diaz, Shout out to my boy Richard Rios from Palermo's. I've been saying he's
A
gonna be the next.
mullet
Yeah, the
gang.
mullet gang, like crazy mullet, but he's such a solid all around
He's actually
midfielder.
really good though. Yeah.
Like, yeah, like he does all the dirty work and the nitty gritty stuff. He's gonna be him next. So, yeah, shout out to him. They just demolished Panama, and I think,
Quick question, quick thing. I seen a
yeah,
little meme the other day of somebody talking about Richard Rios, and it was like the Will Smith meme. Where it's like, why? How come nobody want me, man?
yeah, no, and it's true because everyone from that club, Brazilian club Palmeiras, is getting taken. Your boy Hendrick, Esteban thing, William or whatever, and then like there's just a bunch of them just getting like they're getting poached, and it's like no, he's not 18, he's like 24 or 23.
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I mean? Like,
probably why.
no, but that's the thing. Like you would think like somebody would grab him. Honestly, wait your turn, man. This tournament, everyone sees you. Who knows what happens? But it's true. It is funny because it's like those one guy's going to Chelsea, another guy's going to West Ham, another guy went to Real Madrid, and then this guy's like, "Hey guys, like I'm here," like you know. So it's funny. And then we had the other game. We have Brazil and Uruguay.
Then shit.
Oh my god!
This is what happens when you
like-
disrespect Neymar.
Well,
This is what happens.
Yeah. So obviously I already knew like without Neymar, this team was not gonna do it like much. Like you already have low expectations. Like it's a Neymar or bust. 2022 World Cup, Neymar does like the freaking goal of his life. I'm sure he would say that was his favorite goal, unless they went on to win the chip or something or to win the World Cup that year. And the team just let him down. Like I always stand by this to this, like, bro, Neymar. Did you see what Brazil is without Neymar? Exactly. This guy carried the whole country for whatever 20
decade plus
for decade, whatever. And this is what it shows. Like Vinny is a Ballon d'Or contender. Like forget about like scoring every game. This and that. I know he had a good game when he scored the 2 goals against Thing, but what happens to like even like you're basically the face of the team now that Neymar is not there. Why are you picking up yellow cards to miss a crucial game against friggin' basically the second best team, if not the first best team, Uruguay? Like, I think Uruguay and Colombia are the best team this tournament. Like that's what I'm gonna say for sure. And like he's sitting up in the stands. You know how dumb that is? Are you injured?
No, Joel Embiid.
And I understand this whole with Joel Embiid. Someone who misses crucial playoff games. By the way,
sorry boy.
Yeah. And I understand, like, I hate the whole, like, after group stage, I think it should reset. You shouldn't be getting yellow cards thing. Okay, but whatever. The rule's the rule, man. Why aren't you there? And this game ended up going to penalties. That's part of the
game, you know? Yeah.
This game ended up going to penalties. And so it's not like, I think it was just a shit show, but I think Uruguay deserved to win the whole time. Like, their midfield is overrunning. This is, like, one of the most wackest midfield I've ever seen for Brazil produce. We're talking about Jogo Bonito, you know, like individual talent, but then these play together and it's just like, oh my god, you're me, I'm you. Nothing. No, they're all it's all gone to shit. Honestly, that it's like dumpster right now for the country, like football for that country right now, and it's very sad to see because you know they're friggin' 5 stars, like giants of football. Like that's the beautiful game ever. And it's like wow, yeah. Neymar I personally think it's lack of Neymar, and 100%. That's also a bad thing because why is it only Neymar? Like you guys, nothing, no one else can produce anything. Like it's crazy. And like let's just talk about the pens.
Dude, I don't even understand the pen lineup, dude.
Oh my god,
pen lineup didn't even make
it. Can we somebody
sense,
just put that up? Oh my god.
Hold on.
No, because the first 2 were center backs. What do you mean? Center backs? Why are center backs taking penalties? First of all, you know what you said? What did you say about Otamendi? Remember? He went 6th. He went 5th because he's a center back.
Otamendi goes. You're not. These guys go 6th and 5th, and they go after because like these guys, the most pressure you have is when you're taking those first kick, obviously, and the second kick, obviously, a whole lot of pressure, and coach puts out like the most garbage like things ever. Like, okay, so I have it here. So the first shot was Valverde scores.
Oh, yeah, Valverde
and
scores,
then Militao. I don't think if Rodrigo even shot a penalty,
Rodrigo didn't. Rafinha was subbed off. I saw him
subbed
with
off.
the
Yeah,
no, but like,
and then
what is going
he was
on?
also subbed off.
Andrick didn't take a penalty. Like, what does he do?
Then Pereira. I mean, what's it called? Then what's his name?
Douglas Luiz missed.
Yes, there you go. He missed. Like, who are these guys? First of all, I don't even know these people. Sometimes half of these people.
Douglas Luiz
But it's
plays
like,
in like he plays in the Prem. Like he's
but
solid.
it's like
But
this is not the lineup you put out for your penalties, bro. This is not the lineup you put out
like,
for your
what are you
penalties.
guys doing? And yeah, like Rodrigo didn't go. I don't get it. Like this Rodrigo's like whatever time Champions League winner. You know, freaking you call him underrated, and it's like, what is it? Is it the coach or is it him? Like a Real Madrid player, like you should be going first. And I think he's that good. And like I don't know.
Especially
Like,
with the half the lineup gone, why isn't Rodrigo going first?
right. So and that's the thing with me, Brazil. Like it's a big talking point because it's Brazil, but that's the thing. Like it's been like this for tournament after tournament now. Last tournament, they went to the finals. They lost to Argentina. Neymar had the game of his life. Every
Every single Argentinian player said we couldn't stop him. We just got lucky.
And every time you think you knocked him down or you guys like neutralize that attack, it's like, yo, he's coming again. Like, why doesn't he stop? What's going on? And again, so literally you can like summarize it to
and then the
Neymar
World Cup again. It was Neymar.
Yeah.
And then they lost because freaking Marquinhos sucks ass.
Or they can't hold on for 3 minutes or whatever. Like,
yeah,
man.
No, it's
so
the worst generation.
I think the Uruguay Colombia game is going to be exciting. So like if you love like football, if you love soccer, it's going to be a good game. And it's going to be, and the thing about Copa America is like you have WWE tax because everybody starts beefing and just like throwing hands and it's like there's a red card yeah.
So that's Brazil played like basically in the entire second half with one man of advantage and still couldn't score.
Well, that's the thing. They couldn't even build anything. They can't make anything. And this is not the Brazil that we all know.
It was like the last like 25 minutes.
Yeah, it was for a bit. And it's like, wow, nothing. Insane. Yeah. Honestly, if Darwin Núñez didn't like,
break that shot,
forgetting how to finish, this game would have been 2-0 or something.
My dogs, no.
Yeah. So I think Colombia and Uruguay, Bielsa is coaching Uruguay to a T like really nicely. But I think maybe I think for right now, James Rodriguez might be player of the tournament, and he might get the Colombian boys and just like take that game over.
No,
and just win it. But
shout out Ulash Lautaro Martinez is gonna be player of the tournament.
Oh yeah, off the bench though, like he's been saving that. Then he starts and he scores.
What's
again.
that? What's
scored
that?
every game almost. Yeah. Wait, what were you gonna say? What's
that Canadian kid's name?
His
name. What's
the mullet man? Like
is it Shaffelburg?
Yeah. He's so
Shaffelburg. He is insane, dude. I think he was the one holding up the jersey in the beginning.
When he scored for Buchanan,
for Buchanan,
his tibia. Yeah, he's so So I saw him. I think it was the game where Peru game. The group stage and his it's funny, it's like I think it's a meme now where it's like his one play is like, yo, I'm just gonna run and just throw the ball over, and all he does is run in a straight line, and then that was the one where he cut it into Jonathan David, and Jonathan David scored. We won 1-0. So but that kid, and he was off the bench, but then now he's getting more reps in, and he was he's so good. He's hooping, man. And I think Alphonso Davies also is not having the greatest tournament, but it's like
him stepping up and.
Oh, that pen was nasty.
That pen? Yeah. Hey, salute.
But you know what? It's like they're locked in and they're in the semifinals, and you just gotta
we got going. Here, but we did it.
Yeah. So that's taking place on Tuesday, I think. And so that's pretty much our first ever episode for soccer. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Last shout outs. I don't know. Like it's been an interesting tournament so far. I feel like for Euros, like it's ups and downs. I feel like Copa has been more like funny and fun and exciting. You just watch
own goal
for Euros. He's gonna have a big signing coming up. I don't know which club's looking at him, but it's probably one of the big ones. And so that's our soccer episode for today. Please subscribe to the channel, follow us on all of our socials, and looking forward to the next episode. Peace out.